Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing. Today we're going to do some clusters. This is going to be themed clusters to kind of go in line with this themed ephemera idea that I have. Again, as I mentioned in an earlier video, I have acquired a lot of digital kits and I wanted to start playing with them, getting familiar with what I actually have, making some ephemera from those kits so that when I use those pages I will have the stuff already ready. So I've pulled 4 different kits. This is chapter 1 antique florals. This is chapter 1 shabby florals, and I've collected just a few little bits. This is not necessarily not all of this is scraps. Some of this is scraps, but the main stuff is not. Some of it is stuff that I've shrunk down. So this is actually from Angela Kerr, Floral Folly. And then this is Rustic Boho from the Digital Loon. So those are the 4 that I'll be doing today. And then I'm not going to go through all this, but I have pulled scraps of paper, book pages, music pages, coffee dyed paper, lace, and things like that, buttons, to add to my clusters. So we're going to go ahead and go. I will be sure to speed up through some of the more tedious processes like the inking and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that stuff out here and be ready for my inking. I didn't even tear these down, so I think I'm going to start with this Rustic Boho, and we'll see if we get through all 4 of them. We might not. It just kind of depends. I am also expecting my grandkids over, so but I'm not sure when, so I'll have to stop the video if they do arrive. So these are the pieces that I pulled again from the Rustic Boho kit. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. Again, these are all shrunk down from their original size, other than this little pocket. It's the original size, but I really liked the split pattern here. I thought it would be really cool on this. But this is going to be our base. So let me go ahead and trim this up here really quick. Let's kind of see what I want to do here. I'm going to try to get this straight. Use scraps to make scraps, right? Isn't that how it goes? Seems. See, which side do I want? I think I want this end for this particular thing. I'll be able to use the other ones for a different cluster. So we've got, this is going to be our base, and then I'm just going to tear up some of this other stuff as well. Probably should have already done this. It would save time, so I'll probably just speed through this and get this kit, this particular one prepared. Okay, so those pieces are all ready to go. It's a little bit windy in here because the air conditioner is going, so my papers are blowing all over the place. So we're going to start again. In fact, let me just turn this off really quick. Hopefully it won't get too warm in here. I'll have to turn it back on. So this is our base, and let me just find some pieces that I want to use with this that I picked out. So I had a button that I really liked, and I thought I would use a little bit of fabric, and I thought I had picked, oh, and then this lace, although yeah, it does because it brings out sort of these darker flowers, which I think would be really pretty. And then a piece of this. I've used this before in other clusters. I just think it's really beautiful. It's just from an old scarf. And let's see, what words do we want? How about live the dream? And then we've got some book pages and things like that. So let me pull a couple of those out. Some of these are already ready. And if we need to tear them down again, we can. So I'm going to just push that aside and go with, oh, I think this was also one that I wanted to use. I might not be able to use them all. It's a lot. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and cut this a little bit so we can get it to get all raggedy. I'm never very good at this though. Cut some of this off here. There we go. Rid of those threads. Just trim a bit of that off. A little messy. We want it to be messy. Goodness gracious, I've got threads everywhere. Okay, so I thought we would put this on this fabric. It's a little bit big, so let me trim that down just a little bit more. It's tough. Okay. Got our fabric, and I do want to kind of see if I can get a little bit of ink around it just to kind of grungy it up a little bit. Not terribly dark, but just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this on top. Almost made that too small, didn't I? I'm going to trim this off just a smidge. I actually want that fabric to kind of frame it a little bit. I didn't think about that entirely. Yeah, that's better. So we've got that. We can kind of go outside of the paper or the fabric here and do a little bit of some assemblage here. Doesn't all have to be covered. Don't want that to be quite so thick because I don't want it to take over. Just kind of create whatever speaks to you. Like I do these and I don't really know. I pull supplies out, but I don't always do exactly, you know, what I expected. Kind of just follow my heart. So we're going to stick this, I love this piece, so we're going to stick that under there. And it's okay again if this goes off of the edges of the fabric. Sorry, I realize that's kind of out of screen there. And then I don't think I'm going to need all these pieces. I pulled a lot out. So we'll see how it goes. And then we want a bit of this lace. I don't really want this part. I want the bottom edge here. Let me see if I can get a piece of this off. I don't know if I really like this though. I don't. I'm not going to use that. How about a piece of this? This is some eyelet trim that I coffee dyed. I think I like that. So I think we'll put that under this edge here. And I love this, so we are going to use just a little bit of this. I think I might have a better piece here. Just a second. With more of the right colors. Again, this was part of a scarf. And I'm thinking that if I'm selective, I might find a piece of it that is more fitting. Maybe bring in that little bit of that red after all. Or maybe this bluish because it's got that teal in it. Let's do that. Off camera, guys. Sorry. Okay. Get that out of here. Let's just get a little piece of this. Kind of put it down here. I'm just kind of laying it out a little bit, what I might like. And I think that's good. So we can start gluing on. And I'm going to kind of move this strategically so I can kind of keep straight what is on top of each piece. So we're going to use our Fabri-Tac because we are working with fabric and lace and paper, so it works for all. Get this piece on here. I can trim it off if I need to. Do need my towel though. Sticky fingers. There we go. And then it looks like we had this up here, down in this corner. A little bit more. I haven't gotten brave enough to actually sew clusters because it's tricky. Sticking to my board here. Okay. And then we had this piece. I'm just going to keep using the Fabri-Tac because it's right here and I don't really want to go back and forth. So did we have that going above? I cannot remember. Or like that. We're going to put this baby down. It goes pretty fast once you get going. I do want to think about where I was going to put this stuff. Was I going to put it here? Under? Yeah, I think we'll do that. So we need some more here to get that in place first. Should have put something harder down since I'm using fabric as a base here. This might not work well. We'll see. There's no right or wrong though. It all works out. Okay. We've got our... It's not down far enough. It's taking away from my space for my card. Move that down a bit. Perfect. Ah, we're sticking everywhere. This is probably going to be okay because all this paper is going to make it firm up, which is going to be fine. And then we've got this little piece of text that I just love. Let's get that baby on. I just love text. So this one says, our faith grew ever stronger. This time we found a little means to get material. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll put our this little bit. I think I want a little piece of this just to go above this thing here. This is quite unravelly once you start cutting it. Like I could literally pull this completely apart if I wanted to. Put it right there. I just love clusters because you can't go wrong with them. There's no right or wrong. You're just throwing stuff together and following your heart and what speaks to you. So we'll put that right there. Okay. I love it. And it's not too thick for a journal, so I don't know if you can see how thin that really is. Sometimes that can get concerning. You don't want to bulk up your journal too much. I'm not very good at this yet. So we've got this button. So I'm thinking I would like to put the button maybe right here. Yeah, that works. Hold it there for a second. Sorry about the light, guys. I do have my shade down for the most part, and it's still quite bright. And then we've got our sentiment here is live the dream. So we're going to go ahead and ink that up. And where do we want this baby? How about right there? Works for me. Okay, there is one cluster. Just a close up. Super fun. That's going to be fantastic in a journal. I am going to go ahead and trim this edge a little bit. And this edge a little bit. Perfect. I don't mind this sticking out, and I don't mind the little fraying bits. So let's go ahead and move on to the second one. So I'm just going to get some stuff out of the way here. Didn't use everything I cut, which is not abnormal. So how about we do this Floral Folly one? I think I might do this cluster just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this or tear this down. And I'm going to go ahead and tear this down and ink up my other stuff, and then I'll fast forward through that and then be back with you. Okay, the inking is all done. I did, as you saw on the video, I did decide to pull this piece of lace. I had cut a snippet of it to use as well, but I'm going to use this bigger one as my base. But this time I think I'm going to put something behind it too. Let me see if I can find a thicker piece of paper or something. This is actually a piece of file folder. And I think I want to cut it to size because I want it to be a little bit stiffer than that last one. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim this up here really quick. I'm just going to cut it just a little bit smaller than my biggest piece of paper here. So take a little bit more off. This is a file folder I had coffee dyed. So what that's going to do is help me to protect this here so that it's a little bit easier to work with. That other one was a little bit tricky. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down with some Fabri-Tac, my lace. And guys, use what you have. I've done these completely using scraps before, so don't feel like you have to pull from your digitals, that you want to actually be able to use the full elements on something else. I've done this beautifully with just scraps, so it works really, really well. So let's go ahead and get this on. Well, let's see if we want anything behind it. first. I didn't really lay this out very well. How about we go over here with this, because we were a little bit long on that side, which is okay. And put this little bit of text here. I don't want it to be too big. That's probably enough of a hangover there. Hangover. The back doesn't matter because this is going to be glued to a page, at least the way that I'm going to use it. And then I really like this dark, this coffee dyed paper. So let me trim it just a little bit more so I have two pieces to work with. And I'm trying not to think too much about it, just because I don't really want it to cover up the lace bits there. About like so. But we put it right there. Just want to be able to see that lace bit on the top. And do we want anything else under? I really like this little postage stamp thing. This is from 1850. This is actually a scrap from a Sean Petit collage pack. So let's see if we want to use this somewhere. I kind of want the 1850 in the picture here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use that. Got a lot going on here already. So kind of went down. That's kind of wasted here. Hang on, let me see if I can lift this. I need to move it up because it's going to take away from my word, or from this big piece, because I want this lace to show at the bottom. Let's just go ahead and put this down and see what happens. Beautiful paper. I wish I had done that differently, because I can't really see it, but that's okay. I'd rather sacrifice that piece of paper and have what I want than not. So and I know what we can do. Will help to get back that piece that I lost. I'm just going to cut this off a little bit and put it down here, kind of layer that up a bit, put my little postcard on top of it. What do you think? I think good. This is just me doing my process, guys. You do your process. Whatever makes you happy. And then I think I want this hanging off the edge a little bit. I like that look. Expanding the real estate on your cluster. You can make these as small or as big as you want. I'm going to kind of go off the edge there. And I almost wish I'd put some of this coffee dyed paper there. It could come up from the back too. Just totally fine. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. Nobody's going to look at the back because it's going to be glued to the page. So just going to do that. Got a little bit of time to fuss with it when you're using the Fabri-Tac. If I can pick it up, I do. Oh, I like that. It needed that edge. So there we go. And then we've got this little postcard. I'm not really sure if we need it because we've got a whole lot going on here already. I think I'm not going to use that. Let me just survey the stuff here and see if there's anything else I would like to use. I didn't put any music pages or anything on here. In fact, I didn't really pull much out as far as music pages, so think I'd like some music on here. Let me just grab really quick, guys, my scrap bin. Let's see, how about this? Just a little, oh, this one's green. I like that. Let's just make it happen. If we use it, we use it. If we don't, we don't. Not a big deal. It's kind of fun to just play around. Change things up a little bit. So, because if I use that, then I might come in and use that. Just put it up here on the top. I just feel like it's too much, though. Maybe if I came up like that. I usually always incorporate a little bit of music page. This is actually the original of a scrap of a vintage music page from my stash. I have a lovely neighbor behind me who has gifted me with I don't want to cover that butterfly, with some old music pages. She's just a really gracious lady. I did tear that side off because I don't want, I'm protecting that butterfly. And then I think we need something else behind this stamp. Might be overkill, but that's okay. You can just see a little bit of the book page there. You can still see through it, which is lovely. I like this. And then I can get away with getting that postage stamp on there. I really liked this. I liked that it brings out the green in the other parts of the print here. Yeah, I think it's good. It's a big cluster, though, I'm telling you. So then we also had a button for this one. It's kind of a peachy color. So wonder where we can place her. Needs to probably have something underneath it as well. So let's just get this other piece of lace. And how about we put the button up here in that corner. I love all the layers. It's my favorite part of all crafting. Layers and layers and layers. Yes. Okay. Ah, my finger's stuck. Goodness gracious. Okay, come on, Renee. Hold it in place. There we go. It'll set. And then we've got a word. So we've got be bold, beautiful, and they're getting all lost in my scraps over here. And create with courage. I think beautiful fits this one. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit. I have a lot of word digitals, so unfortunately I probably will not be able to tell you the maker of this particular digital because I've cut so many and I put them all together, or I put a lot of them together, so it's pretty much impossible unless I go through every one of my digital files to figure out which one it is. But you can just search Etsy for junk journal words or phrases, quotes, and you'll be able to find what you need. So we're going to go up here and put this, how about right here? There we go. So that is our second cluster. Beautiful. It's a little bit busy, but it's going to be gorgeous on a page, and that's what counts. And so again, the back doesn't matter because this is going to go down on a page. And I like putting this on the bottom because I could actually put a dangle on here if I wanted to. Let me see if I've got one, just for fun. I'm running low, so I need to actually make some more. I have the longer ones, but I don't have a lot of, oh, this one would be absolutely gorgeous, but it's super big. So that's not going to really work, but it's a nice thought. I don't really have one in here that will work. I'm going to have to make some more of these because I'm running out. Okay, so that is number 2. Let's set that one aside. And how about we work on, this one's going to be a little bit smaller. This is the Antique Florals from Chapter 1. And, well, I guess it's not going to really be all that much littler. But let's see. I want to put a base on this too. I think I do. It's just so thin. It's easier to work with a strong base. So let me grab another piece of that file folder. I'll just cut this down really quick. And I will cut this down and I will ink up all my stuff, and then I'll speed through that and then be back with you. Okay, so everything is pretty much inked up, and I pulled some bits from over there that I had already taken out. And I'm just going to kind of try to get them arranged. I'm going to start with putting this beautiful lace on the base. And the only reason why I'm using a base is just because I don't like touching that stuff when it's all, you know, when it's all wet. It's like, it really bothers me. So hopefully that will straighten out this edge. So let's go ahead and get this layered up. So got some coffee dyed paper. Oops, we want to go rough edge out. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on right here. Hope you guys can see okay. And some of this over here. And then I'm thinking I just want to tuck this in there. I don't really need all of it to be seen. This is actually from a Grimm's fairy tale book. Really love it. So I think I am just going to put that there just so it's kind of peeking out. Like so. And get a bit of this over here. Kind of hard when there's nothing over there to have that glue stick to. Kind of challenging. You know what I mean on this edge. Okay. Getting all sticky. Sticky. So let's see what we want to do. I think we need something else here. Let's see if there's one more thing that we could add. Got glue all over my fingers. How about this piece? This is a nice darkish piece. This is just from my scraps, guys. almost can't decide if I think it's too long there or not, but it'll be okay. And what do we need? I feel like there's something missing here. This beautiful little stamp. Oh, I like that. I just feel like there's something that is needed down here. So let me grab another piece of this beautiful lace. There we go. It might be what I have here too. I couldn't quite tell. I just feel like we need something here. Actually, I'm going to stick this one in there. I think it's the same lace. And then we've got this. Before I put this down, I want to think about where I want this lace. If I want it to be like so. Yep. Yep, yep. I just like the messiness of this. Like there's really no, there's no right or wrong or rhyme or reason to it. It's just whatever kind of sparks you. This is printed on just regular copy paper. I don't print stuff on regular copy paper unless I'm going to be using it for collaging. So it's super, super thin. And let's see if we can get that in there. Yeah. I think that's going to be fine. Let's get this glued on. And then we have one more to do and we'll be done. We're 43 minutes in. If I keep it under an hour, I'll be happy. We'll be cutting out some of the stuff, so it'll be all right. Give that a good press. I kind of wish this lace was lower, but I don't think I can shift it now. I think I'm too late. Oh, maybe I can. Yay! Yay, fabric tack. Whoops. You don't want to pull it completely off though, Renee. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. I might not leave this on just because it's super bendy. Not sure if it's going to straighten out. We'll see. And then we'll put this lace here. But I think if I just glue the back of this and then just put the lace under it, it'll be easier. Because I don't have to touch it. I don't know. Yeah, that way. I'll put that down there. No, it's a lot of lace, but I really like it. I love the layers. Covered up that little flower, but I think that's all right. And then we'll get this baby on. Yeah, hope that's moving. Okay, and then we have a button and a word for this one as well. Let me see what my other two buttons were so I can pick which one I want the most. I think I'm going to do the bigger button. And then we've got Be Bold and Create with Courage. I think we're going to do Be Bold. And I'm going to trim it down because it's a little bit wide. Oops. I can cut it straightish. Not that it really matters. There we go. We've got Be Bold, and then we've got a button. So I think I'd like the button right there. And why not one more piece of lace since we're going all lacy? Why not? I'm just going to put that down there. And then glue my button on. That will hold it in place. I really like this one. I never quite know, like, if I've gone just a little bit too far. It looks like I need a little bit more glue. It's not going to stick. I never know if I've gone a little bit too far with the embellishing, but I don't think I've ever had one that I didn't like. So it's pretty cool. Okay, and then we've got a word. Got a word. Where do we want our word? Do we want it layered into this, or? I think right here. You know what, guys? I think I'm just going to stop at the 3 rather than add that fourth one in. You kind of can get the gist of what we're doing here and kind of go with it yourself. I think I'm going to stop here though, because we're at 47 minutes, and again, I think that we get you the gist of the process. So there is our antique florals cluster, and again, the back is really messy, but it doesn't matter. And I think I'm going to trim this off because I don't think it's going to lay flat. So we're just going to let it be scraggly at the end. Yeah, I like that better. So it's lots of scraggly sticking out. So, oh, I forgot the little ruler. Doggone it. I really wanted the ruler, but it's not going to work. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that you joined me here. If you want to leave a comment about the video, what you liked about it, share any ideas you have about how you make clusters, or you know, if you have a question, you can post a question. I'll be sure to link the supplies in my supply list so that you can check out the Etsy sellers that make this beautiful paper. I don't know how they do it, but it's absolutely phenomenal. So go ahead and give a thumbs up to the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already, if this suits your needs and it's something that you enjoy. I would sure love to see you over here again. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.